Hey guys, so the reason grains are ranked so high in the Illuminati food pyramid and all those processed foods is because they understood that we are going to run out of food and that there isn't going to be enough energy because also they're blocking the sun with artificial clouds, so it's obvious they're going to rely much more on that kind of stuff. And a lot of those are essentially waste products, but they didn't only make us believe that it's food, but they made us believe that it's healthy, and that's also impressive in a sense. To make people believe that such things as noodles or bread, even though it's so far from food, that it's edible, is it takes a special something to actually do that. And don't be fooled by any films that show kings or queens eating bread, because that never happened. Because I've already talked about this, but only and only for real slaves ate that, and it used to be like that, and it's still the same way. Only slaves eat that, and that's simply because they want you to die around your at the age of your pension or sooner. Obviously, it's happening now, and this is all obvious. And to get mental illnesses, because schizophrenia used to be called bread madness, or eggplants used to be called mad apple. All of this stuff, which only used to be eaten in the case of starvation, is now not only seen as proper food, but as healthy. And that's, as I said, it's impressive that they brainwashed everybody like that. And I understand that it's very easy to, and it's easy. It's people want to believe that the government wants them to be healthy, and that the media wants them, and that we are going in this direction, in this health conscious society or whatever people call it, and it's just bullshit. It is. And I don't see it going in the right direction exactly. And in a sense, I'm thankful that there's, for example, such people as vegans who eat the least nutritious and most damaging foods, except if it's fruitarians, that's a bit different. But for the most part, if you leave out animal foods, which are without a doubt scientifically the most nutritious and easiest to digest foods, then that leaves a lot for the rest of us. But then I actually did some calculations and realized that, for example, here in Berlin, where over 3 million people live, at most, and that's being generous, I would say that there's enough pastured meat for 50,000 people. So there's really not enough at all. So people who eat this garbage and get sick from it, in a sense, we should all be thankful for them. People who eat a paleo diet or a ketogenic diet or such. And then again, the other thing is that these kind of diets are just not affordable anyway, because from what I calculated, people here get a salary of about 1,200, 1,400 if lucky on average, and then you pay rent and such, you have another stuff, maybe you have 700 something left. But to eat a ketogenic diet, and not only some processed pork, but if you eat beef and lamb and stuff, and organic, or at least pastured, then it's going to cost you something between 700 and 1,000 a month at least, and that's not even affordable. That's why a lot of doctors eat that way, but not a lot of other people. So there's just not enough food like that, because people cannot afford it anyway, because there's no they don't ask for it. So if there's no asking for it, then nobody's going to deliver it. Going to take a break. Alright, so let's continue. When you go into shops, you will see mostly grain products. Actually, when I was in Prague, in Tesco, they had these incredibly huge baskets of just bread. This huge mass production. It was incredible. I should have filmed it actually, because it was disgusting. And fuck. So actually, if you look, if you're somebody who eats a lot of processed foods, actually look and you will see that there's wheat everywhere. And even when you go to restaurants and buy rice, the cooks put in tablespoons of wheat flour in it, and it's everywhere. You gotta ask everywhere, because it's like this conspiracy of gluten everywhere. I'll link you something about gluten actually, if you're interested in it, because there's a lot of talk about it, and people aren't informed enough about it and what kind of damage it actually does. Because it's impossible to take some hard seed and make flour out of it, and then make slime out of it, and then burn it to make it cancerogenic, and then to feed people and expect to not get sick. It totally makes no sense. It's anti-food, essentially. And if you set out anybody into the wild, any diet anybody is on right now, the first thing everybody would go for is meat. And that's not only because that's one of the only things that would be available anyway, in many parts, at least in Europe, but that's because that's the instinct. Because if you stuff yourself full of food all day long, whatever it is, then you just won't get this. You can stay on any kind of diet essentially for a while. Obviously, at some point, your body is going to say, no, let's stop, because there always used to be some kind of starvation, and we usually just got through it somehow. So even here with all of these organic shops, people buy like cookies and stuff, and because it's organic, they believe that somehow it's okay, and they feed it to the children. And I just want to take it and just take it out of their hands, of the children, and throw it away. But what's the point anyway? They will buy more for them. And as far as organic food goes, actually, guys, there's shows made here that argue that it's not so important and such, but there was actually this test done on the Swedish family, and they eliminated all the non-organic food and replaced it with organic food, and they had toxins, over 1,000 toxins in their urine, and then when they started eating organic, they had none. And who knows how much of it actually is left in the body. It's in the bone marrow or so. So eating organic is not a joke. It's not that, like, it's not important. It really is, actually. So that's that.